country should I choose? Should I choose Vietnam or Singapore? And 36% of you guys said Vietnam, and 64% of you said Singapore. So that's interesting. I really don't know much about Singapore, but I know a lot about Vietnam. I know that I love Vietnamese food. I'm gonna share some comments. Someone said Vietnam, 100. Okay. Another person said, I'm in India right now, and I asked some colleagues which one, and they told me to vote for Singapore. So that's cool. Let's see. Singapore is super small and much further away, super pretty and clean, and I describe as first world New York, but Vietnam can offer much more. That's what someone else said. Okay. And another person said, oh, yay, Vietnam if you're doing a tour or have a guide, but Singapore if no tour and if budget isn't an issue. Very easy to go around Singapore since English is their official language. Okay, I didn't know that. And extremely safe for female solo travel. We met nice people there. All right. Well, thank you guys for your comments. I love all the voting and the engagement and the comments. So thank you for that. I am now going to start a little bit of research just to decide what I'm going to do. Oh, and I'm sharing my nightcap here. I don't speak French, but if it's a sparkling wine, I think it's called a cave or cave. I don't know French. I know if it's Italian, it's Prosecco. And then if it's from the Champagne region in France, then you can call it champagne. But everything else, you have to say all this stuff. But I put some lavender in here. So, très bien. Okay. Vietnam versus Singapore. So first, what I want to do, as I usually like to do, is open up the Chat GPT just to see like how I can start the comparison. So let's compare Vietnam to Singapore. Which country to visit? That's going to be my first prompt. You guys see, when I do my research, I rely heavily on AI because it just makes things so much easier. Okay, so it's giving me like the ratings, Vietnam versus Singapore. So food, about the same. I honestly don't know anything about food in Singapore, but I heard that it's like really diverse. I did watch a lot of vlogs, so I made sure to do that this time because when I did my first live and I was trying to pick a country, and I picked a country, I hadn't done much research on the country yet. You have to watch the live to know which one I picked. Hadn't done much research, so I was just like kind of shocked a little bit. And I was like, ooh, this is outside of my comfort zone. I can't do this yet. Not to say I won't ever go to that place. I almost said it. Okay, nature. There's more nature in Vietnam. The beaches are better in Vietnam. Okay, more culture and history, about the same nightlife. Luxury is on the Singapore side. Budget. So Vietnam, I know is supposed to be way more budget friendly, and I think that's probably what's going to help me to determine where to go because I like to proclaim that I am bougie on a budget. Pass the great coupon, please, with a coupon. Okay, I, really, really need to make sure that I do things where I can use my points and I can use my different memberships and all the things. So let's see, budget, ease of travel, it's leaning more toward the Singapore side. Adventure is more on Vietnam. Good for 3 to 4 days. It's more on Singapore side. Good for 1 to 2 weeks on Vietnam side. So I have already planned to, I think I'm doing like 2 weeks, I think is what I'm trying to do. I'm targeting December, so that's important too. I've already done the preliminary research about like weather and all of that. I did that in my first live, and I was really concerned making sure that the weather would be good during December. And I'm looking around like the 20th to the 21st or something like that of December through January 1st. So almost 2 weeks or right at 2 weeks, it just depends on what I can get with the flights. I mean, it's possible depending on what the results show that I might try to do both. We'll see. Um, Hanoi, mm, I just don't know much about the different cities. Oh, people are still replying. Let's see. Someone else said, oh, see, I just said this. Let me tell you what they said. Someone just sent a comment. I'm going to read it. Okay, someone else just said, you could do both. A couple of days in Singapore is enough to see the main places because I didn't know that Singapore was a city state, kind of like Monaco, and there's another city state in the world. I forgot. Oh, the Vatican. So those are city states where it's like the city is the country. So, um, and so I think a lot of people are like, oh, you can see it in a few days. You can find a ticket from Singapore to Vietnam probably for less than $100. Singapore could be very expensive, but there are many free activities. Vietnam, on the other hand, is amazing and very affordable. So, I mean, this is really good feedback, you guys. Thank you so much. This is really good insight because I was also wondering if it was possible for me do um, to do both. Okay, so I'm right as of now, just based on this short rating that chat gave, I am leaning a little bit more toward Vietnam because of the budget. But I want to like look for flights, so I'm going to use Google Flights to see what's possible because that's going to determine a lot. So first, I'm going to say, and so in my first live, I focused on the first city being like LAX, San Francisco. Those were the two main ones that had like direct flights. So I'm going to start that kind of over, but I kind of know like ballpark what we're looking at. So this won't take as long as it did the first time. So I have a little bit of an idea. So yeah, about 1,800. It gets a little less the closer I get to Christmas, but I would prefer to travel on a weekend to kind of get like that extra time without it being 2,000. But then I don't know. I'll start here and then I'll say that I'm coming back. Ooh, it gets pretty steep. Ugh. It gets steep once you get into New Year. I guess a lot of people like to spend the New Year in Singapore, I suppose. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and put the first because I know that's what I want my travel window to be, but I'm probably gonna change all of that once I figure out which cities and how long it's gonna take. So these do have some stops. Oh, I didn't know that. This one goes to Taiwan from Dallas. 16 hours. Ooh, that's intense. Oh, I'm already like I feel like I'm already getting sore just looking at it. Ugh. What's the cheapest look like? Cheapest. Let's see what this says. Go to Denver, and then go to Denver to Vancouver, and then Vancouver to Singapore. That's actually not a bad flight plan, honestly. You're just in Vancouver for like 12 hours. That's intense. But good to know where it goes through. Um, I'm gonna see what LAX is talking about. So yeah, price goes down a little bit. If I look at the best price, oh, it's about, well, it's mostly because of this, but I'm gonna be able to change that in a little bit. Um, but let's just see what the flight plans look like. Takes me to Hong Kong. I'm surprised there's not a direct flight to Singapore from, it's all going through Taiwan. And then the cheapest would be, yeah, that, I do not want to fly through Canada. I'm gonna do that. Let's look at SFO. Oop, I'm gonna set up SFO. Definitely not Italy. Okay, that looks better. But everything flies through Canada. I don't like flying through like cold regions because then I get nervous that the weather is going to affect it. That's not a bad layover, honestly, just 2.5 hours or so. And I would leave in the evening on Sunday. Um, but I would have to get to San Francisco, which I could do with my points. And then from Vancouver to Singapore. So that's not bad. And then if I start backing it up and playing with the dates, then I bet things will be a little cheaper. Yeah, price starts going down. Korean Air. Oh, so this one goes through Seattle. Seattle to Korea. And so, ooh, that's a lot of, no, I couldn't do that. I don't like having more than like a couple of transfers. Okay, let's see. What about Vietnam? I guess I would probably want to do some options. Probably Hanoi. That's the one I know of, or maybe Ho Chi Minh. Prices are high right now. Let's see what this looks like. So this is also going through Taiwan. Let me see. Dallas. What does the cheapest look like? So LAX to, I have no idea what, oh, this is Tokyo. That could be cool. A 12-hour layover in Tokyo, but whew, that's early. Getting there at 5:30 a.m. So let's see. Ah, look at that price. The cheapest starts to go down, down, down. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, this is looking pretty good. LAX to Tokyo, but you're only there for 3 hours. And then Tokyo to wherever this is, I guess Vietnam. I guess that's Vietnam. Oh, Ho Chi Minh City, yeah. That's not bad. How many? It's 22 hours. Let's see what the best is though. This has a stops in Hong Kong. but it's still about the same hours, 22 and a half. Cheapest. And this is United. So LAX to Tokyo. That's kind of cool. I wouldn't have enough time to do anything though, so that's a bummer. That would be cool to be able to like get out of the airport and do something, but that's not enough time. I wouldn't even attempt. And that's a tight layover. Look at that, only an hour and a half. That would make me very nervous. I wouldn't do something that tight. I like to at least, if I'm traveling internationally and it's my first time, I like my layovers to at least be 3 hours, ideally. Um, you just need enough time to get through uh, passport control and whatever else is going on. Okay. I think the flight choices are a lot cheaper. And I think if I were to like play around with the dates, so like say, okay, LAX, if I flew out on the 21st, then I could like use my points or something. Look at that. Look at how cheap that is. That's so nice. Mm. So I could come back on January 2nd actually and save quite a bit of change by doing that. Oh, no, I want my departure date to be 21st. And look at all this. As soon as I like changed, it like adjusts all the pricing. It's probably like changing in real time. That's wild. Anyways, I'm not gonna play around with that too much. Um, Flights wise, it looks like it would be cheaper for me to go to Vietnam, but I would have to like really play around with what all is available, which airlines, just real high level. Um, hmm. I wonder what, let me see what it looks like from Seattle. Just curious. Curious, curious. What does self-transfer mean? Um, Multiple airlines. I've never done that before. Usually I stay on the same airline, so I don't know what that would look like to flip over to another airline. This one goes through Taipei. And it's the cheapest deal. Yeah, I just really don't want to fly through Canada. I've had too many bad experiences flying through cold climates, and it's not fun. Wondering if you're going to be able to make your flight. Um, okay, well, it looks like, I mean, the prices aren't that different. Like, and I could find departures pretty easily. The time is also about the same. Let's see what's like. It's like probably something I would do also is like research all of the different cities and see which one makes sense in terms of like um, where to fly into. Because they probably have like within the country, I could probably take a cheap flight to get to a new city or something. I'll be honest, I don't like flying too much. Where is this? Where is CAN? That's a 15.5 hour. I don't know anything about that. Oh, China. Oh, okay. Flying into China. That's kind of cool. I mean, that's enough time to be able to go outside the city, but I think it would be cold. I mean, it's not too bad. I would definitely need like a jacket or something. I don't know. Okay. I think I have a good concept of what's happening with the flights. I mean, it looks like it looks like the flights are pretty similar and reasonable. So it doesn't really help me with my decision. And I didn't see many that had like the layover in Singapore. So I don't know if doing both would make sense, but let's look at Hilton. When I did my last live, I was talking about how I love to stay at Hilton. And um, that's one of the things I do is try to see like, or let me start with Singapore. I try to see if there's like a Hilton and what the pricing. This is where things may stand out because I've heard things about how expensive it is in Singapore and like some of the stuff I've researched, it looks like pretty expensive. So I'm kind of curious to know what the hotels are looking like if I were to stay. Oh yeah. And I don't know what their. I would assume I might need to target a lower rate. So let me look at this one. And I will do USB. Let's see what that looks like. It's a little pricey. It's a little pricey. I mean, pretty much 200 a night for this is a Garden Inn, so it's not like a super nice hotel. That's a little steep, and I typically like to stay around like 150 or under. And I do have points. I have like 130,000 something points right now. So what would that give me? Oh, okay, you can do 45,000 per night. Let's see, just based on what I have right now. So that would give me almost 3 nights. Probably by that time, I would have enough to have a full 3 nights stay with points. But then I would have to like pay. So yeah, that's not cheap. Not that I'm necessarily looking for super cheap, but it's like I kind of want, something that's reasonable. Uh, just want to look at that. Okay. Let's edit. I guess 'cause it's, okay, now let's do. And I guess I need to select which city, but I have no idea yet where I'm trying to go. Let's say that. That's cute. I don't like True brand Hilton. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. And let's do USD. Well, I can already tell you, man, this is way cheaper. I mean, this one isn't. I mean, it's 30,000. So that must be a really nice hotel. Let's see. So I would be able to at least get 4 nights in, and then let's say I'm not using points. Let's see real quick. Dollar. Okay. Yeah, that's a big difference. This must be like a really high-end hotel. Um, Danon. I would need to research all these different cities. This looks nice. Anything that says spa, it automatically catches my attention. This is nice. Very pretty. Yeah, this is really nice. Hmm. They got a lot of True. $28. That's a steal. But I don't know. A lot of times when I stayed in True brands for Hilton, it was very, very like the IKEA version of. Ooh, that is so nice. Ooh, that's pretty. Where is that from? That's in. Yeah, I really don't know much about Vietnam at all. This is nice. The spa resort. Let me turn my points back on and see what I could get at the resorts. 40,000 for the spa one. Oh, some days I don't want to choose it. Well. This is nice. For only 22,000 a night, that's a pretty good deal. That's a really good deal. Look at how beautiful that is. What is that? Am I even still in Vietnam? I don't even know where I am. Yeah, I don't think this is Vietnam. Where is this? Let's get back to Vietnam, please. Don't know what to use points at this one. Okay. I mean, the pricing is definitely better, which is what chat was saying in terms of budget. Oh my God. I've been already talking for 30 minutes and saying how fast it goes. I mean, I think there's still more research to do, like really fine tune research, but I think I'm leaning towards Vietnam just because it's more affordable. It's cheaper. But the thing about, let me see, and let's do um, Vietnam. So if I'm looking at the map here, what was that? Because it kept putting me there, but I don't know. Oh, that's China. Okay, gotcha. Because I somehow was in China. But I mean, I'm very close to some of these other countries. Let me see how far I'm at. Singapore. So Singapore's right here. And it's next to Malaysia. Ooh, that looks fancy. See y'all being distracted. No. Oh, there's so much to see. There's so much to see. I think I'm gonna go with Vietnam, mainly because I know I like Vietnamese food. I can practice Vietnamese with some of the ladies that I know. Because anytime I go somewhere, I do like to practice the language. So I can practice some Vietnamese, and I'll just have to do some deep dive research regarding where, like, which cities to fly into and where to go and what to do. Because, yeah, Hanoi is all the way up here versus Ho Chi Minh is down here. I mean, I guess now that I'm looking at this map, if we go back to Google Flights, let's see. I would go specifically. See that, and then I come back the first. I'm doing it from Dallas instead of some other connecting places. It's going to take me $28 to get there. But I'm flying through San Francisco. What is Tokyo? That's not bad. I mean, I'm doing most of the time in the air. And then that's a short layover. And that's United. And then I guess I would have to switch airlines to get to Ho Chi Minh Airport. And this one just has one side. And it goes to a different airport. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad price, honestly. And then if I do San Francisco, since I know that that flies through, how much more would I save? There's not. It doesn't look like I'll be saving anything. Yeah, cheapest 1860, and before my cheapest was 1842. So that's actually nice because it's like I don't have to fly to another state or city using points to get there cheaper. I could just, yeah, or you can do through Taiwan. To save 6 hours. Oh, because this is 2 stops. Oh yeah, this is going. Oh, so this goes direct to Taiwan. That's kind of nice. I would probably pay. I don't know, several $100s to only have one stop. That's not bad. I would not pay 2,800, but I might pay 2,200 to just have one stop, save about 6 hours. That's not bad. But this one's also not that bad either because at least my layover is domestic and it's short, and then I go straight into Tokyo, which is kind of cool. All right, well, I think I've made my decision. I mean, I just feel like there are it's just more affordable, is kind of why I'm leaning toward Vietnam. And I love the food. And I know a whole lot more about Vietnam than I do Singapore. I mean, as I research, I might be able to figure out a way to do both, or because I'm looking at uh, Vietnam, like it's next door to Cambodia. So maybe I can see if I can go to Cambodia. That would be cool if I want to try to do multiple countries. Because typically I like to do that. If I'm going that far, I want to do multiple countries. Or, I mean, it may be cool to just like find like a cruise or something that goes to all of these different cities and these different beaches. I really just don't know much about Vietnam to be able to say what else I could do. But I'm excited. I think Vietnam is my choice. Of course, I reserve the right to change my mind. But I think that's what we're doing. I'll let you guys know as I continue to research. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Good night. Bye.